Okay, welcome back, ladies and gents. What's poppin'? How are you all doing? As you can see, we're back with another stage of the Pick'ems. Legend stage time. Challenger stage games ended yesterday. Well, yesterday for me it was earlier in the morning, actually, around like 3 a.m. maybe or some shit like that. Fnatic did manage to get their last game over 9Z and qualify, be the last team to qualify for the Legend stage. So we're ready to go again. Now the challenger stage was a little bit hectic. I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit tough for me, especially with I think going into the last day I needed. Obviously I had OG, so the first game OG with Vitality I didn't really care who would win, but then I needed Cloud9 and Fnatic to win. So I will still be I could still be in the fight for the diamond coin, but we're still in here. It was a rough one. I think this is the toughest challenger stage pick'em I've ever had. And I really am sorry for not having more trust in the mouse boys, but in the end of the day I was like, yeah, I need to put Imperial in, I need to out of respect. But yeah, we go through. Now I really wanted to do a podcast for this one, but unfortunately I'm not sure if you can tell by the way that I'm speaking, by my voice, but I've been sick the past 2 days, so I really wanted to do a podcast about the end of the challenger stage and then thoughts before the start of the legend stage. But unfortunately my throat is kind of fucked up, so I'm not gonna be able to do that, but we'll still do the video for the legends. And first thing I actually want to do, just get it out of here, because this is a really hard legend stage. I'm gonna put in the biggest favors that I think should be able to make it through 100%, and for me is those three. Now I think right now, as things stand, okay, someone might flop it, but in the end of the day, I feel like teams like, especially Vitality, because I see a lot of people actually giving them a big doubt because of their performance in the challenger stage, and dropping 1-2, being really struggling a little bit against OG. I feel like this is good for Vitality. If they were a legend stage team from the get-go, I think they could have been eliminated, but now they've had some experience, and this is something that I actually want to put into perspective, because I'm not sure if a lot of people are actually going to give credit to the teams going through the challenger stage. When you go through the challenger stage, you've played in front of the crowd, you've played on the venue, you've played on the stage, so you're gonna be feeling a bit more relaxed compared to everybody else. Even if we're speaking about the team like FaZe or Navi that have all the experience in the world, you still know what's it like. And you're accustomed to it already. So I think that a Vitality would be feeling really comfortable on the stage. I think another decent shout to make it through is Furia, which is a 50-50 for me. But those are the three. Okay, I'm gonna let Furia for I'm gonna wait for Furia for just a little bit. The other two teams that I feel like should be going through are NIP and Heroic, but I might actually change my mind until the end of the video. Now I'm telling you, I'm improvising right now. I went through some stuff that I wanted to check out to kind of get a rough idea on who I want to put through, but I feel like both teams are really solid. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan in terms of like CS:GO fan of both these teams, but in terms of looking at it from the way that they're playing, the structure that they have, I think they're really solid right now. And even though I'm not the biggest fan of the res oping idea, I feel like NIP should still be able to put up a fight. Now for the last two teams, I'm gonna tell you which are the teams that I really want to put in still. Now I want to put in Cloud9 for sure, I want to put in Furia for sure, and then I want to put in Outsiders and Liquid. But this is when it becomes really tough, because I want to put those four, but in the meantime, you still have NIP and Heroic in. And that makes me wonder a little bit. So I guess first of all, I'm going to go through the trio and the O3 just to, give myself some more time to think about it. Because I really want to put all four of those teams in. For the O3 pick, now, that's a bit risky. And for that purpose, we're going to get into the first round matchups, because, I want to choose something that has some logic behind it for the O3 and the trio. So we're gonna just take a quick look at the first round matchups. Okay, as you can see, even though we could try to do the calculator games and see who's gonna play who for a potential 2-0 or 3-0 or whatever. I don't really want to risk going for something like that. The calculator, by the way, says that Vitality and Cloud9 are gonna be 0-3. I don't agree with that, but it's I guess it's just based on the challenger stage. But yeah, so first round, Fury and Ents is a 50-50 one. I'm not sure if Ents are going to be able to go 3-0. I think Ents could be a good shout for a 3-0 underdog. I don't really see him as a favorite to go through the playoffs, but I feel like they could maybe have a good run. As you can see, if everything goes like it's shown here in the calculator, they could be playing Sprout in round 2 if Sprout beat Big. So this could be a nice draw for them. Although, in the meantime, you still have the if, because Big could beat Sprout. And yeah, then it becomes a bit of a tougher ride for Ents, which are going to be facing Heroic. I think that for me, the logical way to go for an 0-3 team, I think Sprout is maybe an option in there. I'm not sure. That's the thing, though. There's so many good teams right now. So there's 100% going to be a team that's going to be 0-3, and a lot of people are going to be surprised by it. And there's, like, I don't see a clear team that's going to underperform heavily in this stage. I was thinking Bad News Eagles, to be fair, but I don't think so. I think the B&E guys have impressed. I think making it into the Legend stage a second time in a row is really good for them. And I still believe, even though in the tier 1 environment, like on the stage against teams like FaZe, like C9, like Navi, Vitality, and all of those guys, I don't see them winning a BO3. I still think they can pick up a BO1. And there are still some teams here that are completely beatable by their standards in a BO3 environment as well. So it really depends. Like I think a B&E could beat maybe a Sprout in a BO3. I think that's manageable. In the meantime, though, taking a look at the first round matchups, if I have to go for an 0-3, I will still think it either has to be a Sprout or maybe. Now I'm thinking about this. I hope it doesn't sound crazy. I'm thinking a big, to be fair, but I'm not sure if Big are gonna be able to. I'm not sure if Big are gonna really lose all their games. So I guess the loser of this matchup, I'm gonna give the 0-3 Visa, and I think they could go 0-3. It's gonna be a tough one. I think a lot of people don't really give a lot of credit to Outsiders. I think they're doing a pretty decent job right now. But yeah, take a look at the first round matchups. I think maybe a 3-0, a nice shout for a 3-0 could be the winner of Sprout and B&E, and then a nice shout for an 0-3 could be the loser of this matchup, but that doesn't really help all that much. Okay, getting back into the game now, as we've seen the first round games, I think I will still go. I'm really thinking between Spirit and B&E to go 3-0, but I'm not sure if in a BO3 environment Bad News Eagles are going to be able to beat, let's say, a Navi in the 2-0. It's tough to make the same point for Spirit, but it really depends on what the 2-0 games are going to be like. If this was Spirit with Dexter, I'd say 100%, but why I'm thinking about Spirit and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt is, most of you probably have seen the allegations towards Wonderful. And I feel like, especially for such a young guy, this is going to affect his performance 100%. Even if they try and, make it easy for him, I think this is going to be a tough one. And it could be hard for him to recover from something like that. So, yeah, okay. You know what? I'm just going to put in Liquid here. I think Liquid make it through. And, okay, I might change my mind last second. I think now I have a plan. I'm not sure how good of a plan it is, but I think I have a plan. I'm putting in Liquid here. And then I really want to put in C9 or Fury. Now, Outsiders, I think, is a good shout. I think Outsiders might make it through. But those are the best teams that you can put in the end of the day. I'm really, really confused on what to do here, to be fair. This is a lot harder than what I thought, I was thinking I'd improvise, I'd make the decisions last second, but this proves to be a lot harder with all those teams in. So, you know what? I'm not 100% sold on Sprout, so I'm gonna put Sprout 03. I'm really sorry. I like the team. I love the team, but I'm not sold on the idea whatsoever. I'm still thinking between them and Big, so I might reconsider until the end of it. Okay, you know what? I'll put Big. I'll put Big, but shit, I can't make a decision about this one. My trio actually, I was thinking Mouse. You know, I made the point about, you know, Spirit and B&E maybe being in the contest, but I think Mouse is a good shout for a trio. I think you know, their form has been spectacular, and even though I don't see him as a clear favorite to make it through, you know, in terms of a proven team, in terms of, you know, the being a big name or whatever, I still think it's a nice trio shout. I think they can make it work. But, you know, when you're playing against those guys on the big stage, it could be a little bit tougher. So I think maybe a good round could be a 3-0 for them. And then what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to remove NIP from here. I'm going to put in Fury and C9 because I really want to have both Fury and C9 in. I think Fury are a team that knows how to make it through in playoffs. I don't see them making a deep run into the playoffs, you know, getting into a semi or a final, but I can see them going through the playoffs. I feel like every other team in here has a place in here. I think Cloud9 and Vitality, even though they did go through some tough times in the Challenger stage, are going to be able to bounce back and make it through. I think that they will still be able to put up a fight and be amongst the best teams out there. And the experience that they already have on this stage, and, you know, being a lot more comfortable is going to play a role. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to lock it in like that. I might change it, but this is my initial picks. And, yeah, I hope that these ones will be able to help you out a little bit, guys. I'm not really sure on what to tell you because this is one of the toughest pick'ems that I've ever done. And I'm not lying right now. This is one of the toughest pick'ems I've ever done. Normally, I have a really strong opinion on those pick'ems, and I've barely struggled and rarely struggled in past years with you know, the last, let's say, 3-4 majors. I've been able to get them right, but, you know, this one could be a tough prediction, but let's hope that we're still on the road to the diamond coin, baby. And thank you for watching. Like the video, leave me a comment, let me know what your pick'ems are and what you think about my pick'ems, and I guess I'll see you for the champion stage.